Welcome to the first part of this tutorial about making a game in JavaScript for beginners. Last part we talked about the prerequisites and the object-oriented programming concept. In this part we will discover the HTML5 canvas element. The canvas is where we going to draw all of our game graphics. The canvas element allows us to draw either in 2D using its 2D context, or in 3D using the WebGL context. In this series of tutorials, we are going to focus on 2D. Here is what we are going to cover in this video: the canvas coordinates, drawing a rectangle, drawing a circle, drawing a line, and drawing an image. So let's begin. First, notice that I added a folder named Assets. Inside this folder is another folder named Images. Inside this Images folder, I put the image that we're gonna draw in the canvas. Let's add a canvas in the HTML. I'll give it an id of can, a width of 720 and a height of 360. I'll use CSS to center it inside the body. In main.js, let's grab the canvas by its id. Then, we need to get the 2D context using the getContext method on the canvas. I will name the context object CC, because it's easy to type. Before drawing our first shape, let's talk about the canvas coordinates. Because we are going to draw 2D stuff, we need to locate where the origin of the 2D world is on the canvas. And the origin is at the top left corner of the canvas, where x equals 0 and y equals 0. As we go right, the x coordinates increases. As we go downward, the y coordinate increases. And you can guess that they decrease on the opposite sides. So, to draw a rectangle, we need to tell the context in which color we want the rectangle shape to be filled with. And we do so by setting the fill style attribute on context object to a string value representing a color. I'm gonna choose orange. Then we will draw a rectangle with the Fillrect method. This method takes 4 arguments: the x position, the y position, the width of the rectangle, and the height of the rectangle. Before we draw a circle, note that for the shapes like rectangles, circles, lines, and text, we have 2 modes of drawing for these: the fill, and the stroke. The fill fills the shape with a specified color set by context fill style. The stroke strokes the shape's lines with a color specified with the context stroke style property. So to draw a circle, we call the arc method that takes 5 arguments: the x position of the center of the circle, the y position of the center of the circle, the radius, the starting angle in radians, and the end angle in radians. I am gonna draw a circle at the center of the canvas with a radius of 50, starting at 0 degrees, and ending at 360 degrees, which is pi times 2 in radians. Don't forget to surround the arc method with the begin path, and either fill or stroke. To draw a line we need to tell the canvas where to start the first point of our line, using the move to method, then specifying the other points that compose our line shape with the line to method. Also, don't forget to begin the shape, choose either to fill or stroke the shape and close the path. Now for the image. We draw an image with the drawImage method. This method can accept up to 9 arguments. But we're gonna use just 5. And they represent the image itself to draw, the X position, the Y position, the image width, and the image height. But first we need to create a new image object, and I'm gonna set the image source to the image I put in the Assets, Images folder. Note that we need to make sure that the image is loaded before drawing it in the canvas. That's why I'm drawing the image inside the load event callback. Then the rest is simple. Note that if we specify just 3 arguments, the canvas will use the image original width and height. And if we specify 9 arguments, we can crop a part of the image and put it somewhere in the canvas with the width and height we want. That's it for this part. I hope you learned something about the canvas.